Hmm. Okay, you may not know it, but I'm back. Hmm. Let me tell you, this thing keeps flashing, so I hope this new thing is working. I tried to do a public service announcement for Facebook by telling people how to um to set it up. Let's see, today. Oh, okay. Yeah, that if you ever doing a Facebook Live, that the key is that you go on, I say 3 to 5 minutes before you start your broadcast so that it can build the audience. So for instance, if you have clicked on the button and the option that when I come on live to alert you, that's what it does. So if I'm scheduled for one, I'm not going to wait to log on at one and then have to wait 5 minutes or so, because I know people got to get stuff cleared out. Man, I hope this is recording. Let me see on my other one if it is, because it keeps flashing on me, which makes me wonder if it's working. Hey, what's up, Vic? Okay. All right, you the first one here. I'm checking my technology right now because my tell me, does yours keep flashing? Like, mine just flashed. Did yours just flash? And again, did yours just flash, Vic? Let me know. Yeah, mine keeps flashing. Vic, let me know if yours is flashing. Um, Let me see what happens if I put on my other computer. Hmm. Yeah, I keep getting this flash. Vic, you're not answering me. So now that's making me wonder if it's broadcasting, because I keep getting this thing that flashes. Like right now, it's flickering, if not flashing. And okay, now I'm seeing it on my own screen, on my other screen, and actually, I don't even see it. It doesn't show me the. Oh, thanks, Vic. All right, well, good. Well, then let's get started. Hey, welcome to Glue Wednesday, which is the original day, right? Because Glue Wednesday was originally started to celebrate the fact that Wednesday is not hump day. Wednesday is the glue. It's the day that keeps the weekend and the weekend and the week beginning together. So it's called the glue. And even as we talk about it, it puts us in a position of prayer. And we see that glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything, because we don't need to hump. We don't need to get over. We need to glue. We need to keep it together. All right, good. So, okay. So, yeah, I've got two computers going now. Something new that I learned the other day uh, in a seminar, that when you are giving a webinar, a seminar, that you should have your other computer on in case of technical difficulties. This is cool. So anyway, so that's what I keep looking back over there for. Hey, Roxanne, coming in from Dallas. Good. I'm not going to shout out everybody that comes in because I'm getting ready. I'm starting now because it's one. But anyway, so I want to start today. As you know, we're doing what I call the GAS series, GAS, the Glue Alphabet series, and the reason it's called that is because I got a good suggestion from one of my little brothers, Paulie, who said he thought it was a good idea to use a different letter of the alphabet each time as the message topic. So I love that idea, and that's what I've been doing. Let me tell you, it's been a world of comfort for me, because I have to, try to, think and prepare the messages as well. They don't ever, how when people say, well, just speak, he's good at speaking off the cuff. I am, but it's because I prepare. If you're going to be a speaker, you need to be prepared. If someone is speaking at your graduation, and I always give this as a spoiler alert, but a haterade. If someone's speaking at your graduation and they say, you know what, I wrote something down, but I'm just going to put my notes away and speak from my heart. That's not right, y'all. And if it's not right, because what that means is that they really did not prepare. to to appreciate the magnitude of your celebration. How could, sitting there listening make them decide that what they wrote is not good enough to go with the ceremony? See, so that's a cop out when I think, and I'm, because I don't know, I'm sure, I'm not going to just decide what everybody goes through. But if I am speaking at your event or your graduation, again, and I particularly focus on graduation because the keynote speaker at graduation is supposed to have a message for celebrating the graduates. So if I'm preparing to speak at your graduation, I have sat down and thought about what you may have gone through. What nugget of advice could I give you for your next step? You know, and I'm gonna give you what I deliver. I'll add something. Yeah, sure, I can add from the heart, but no, I'm not going to just say I'm speaking from the heart. I will have a prepared message for you. And I think that you owe it to somebody if you're speaking at their graduation to have a prepared message. Now, maybe you don't have to have your message in writing, but don't act like you're not going to use what you prepared. Maybe you thought about it and you decide, well, here's what I'm going to talk about, here's the direction I'm going in, but you've got some main points. The person who's going to speak at your graduation already has an idea of what they want to say. All right. So that's the key that I want to say to you. And so we're doing the gas series, and today our letter is D. But before I can move on to the letter D, I have to close out Monday's session, the letter C, because one of the other things that I decided to do with each one of these sessions is wear a T-shirt that has I got a lot of t-shirts. So I went and I put my t-shirts in a row so that I can always have something representative of the letter, if not the actual letter that I'm using for the message. And so my C word, I didn't get to where I had, I was getting used to this broadcast and I had another interview. And so I didn't have on the right t-shirts. But here, C, that's Stacey Bone. That's not their address anymore, but that's Stacey Bone. That's my sister Renee in Chicago and her catering business. And so it's a good memory for me because Stacey Bone in French loosely means this is good. And so that's what her catering business is about. And she cooked with a Cajun flair. She still has her business. She just doesn't have that physical location anymore. And I got to tell you, one of my wonderful steps in my entrepreneurial speaking career is when I was in Chicago and I was starting my business and I didn't have speaking engagements. My good friend Renee, I worked with her as a waiter. I would do banquet waiting for her and at events that she had around the city of Chicago or at people's homes, etc. So I was a waiter and a bartender. That was my little side job to get myself going. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's not going to, bam, just automatically hit and you're making money. Now, some entrepreneurs that happens. Didn't happen for me. And it might not happen for you. Don't give up deciding, well, this isn't really for me. As well as some people say, well, maybe I won't be an entrepreneur because they're afraid that that's going to hit. You're usually not going to make a lot of money right at the beginning. And guess what? Your biggest non-customer will be are your friends. Your friends and your family who can't believe you quit your job or whatever to follow your dream. So, and dream is one of our words today in our topic. So, there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. So that's why my acronym for FEAR is FEAR. Faith eventually attracts resources. Faith eventually attracts resources. What I mean by that is a lot of times people will say you step out on faith when you decide to become an entrepreneur. And like I said, I think at the beginning you've got people who are not there to support you because they can't believe that you made this move. Let me just put that in E-N-T-U-A-L-A. That way you. But see, once you confirm to somebody that you really mean what you say and you stick to your road and your passion, they eventually start to support you. They say, oh, wait a minute, you're serious, you know, you're really going to do this. Okay, well, look, I can get you a speaking engagement here. Or, hey, look, I can help you with this. So don't give up and don't be mad at the people who don't support you right away, because people are used to you doing a certain thing. You know, when I was in corporate America, I was with the Wall Street Journal. I'm wearing suits every day. You know, I had my friends, I had money, you know, and so I was doing a lot of certain things with my friends. Well, once I went on my own, I had to cut back on some of those things. Suddenly, I wasn't buying the amount of drinks. Not that I was sitting with a bunch of people who had me, locked into me buying everybody drinks, but that's what I'm saying. That's the type of stuff. So, um, just a little ad, advertisement as we move on. But you always have to remember, every message connects to another message. I don't have to wait till we get to the F for faith and fear. But here's what we got today. I'm going to give you, as you can see in the promo, my D words today are divine, demonstrate, determine, detrimental, deed, die, disguise, and demystify. The feature poem is going to be Get Back in the House. And as you'll see how it relates to my theme, Decide and Dream. And if you'd like to get a word in for Friday's message, that the letter is going to be E, you can put a word, begin with the letter E, right here in the thread. Meanwhile, I'm going to open with what I've now decided to call it the opening prayer, because Paulie, my little brother who gave me the idea to do the alphabets, he's now using the formula and he's getting carried away, and I'm loving it. So he gave me two little samples of him using the letter. So he took the letter D and he said his words would be divine, devote, driven, desire, and daily. And then he turned it right into a little saying: a driven desire to devote myself daily to the divine. So you can see that message that said, yeah, I'm always wanting to have my relationship with God. Then he also said, don't, devil, destroy, developed, devotion, deflect, and deceit. And then his sentence: deflect deceit. And stop, get away from deceit. And don't let the devil destroy, develop devotion to the Lord. So that's why I said we're going to call those my opening prayers from Paulie. Opening prayers from Paulie, okay? And again, use this formula, y'all. Enjoy me doing it, but find a way to use it if it can help you. And again, if it can help somebody in your circle. Those, by the way, are not the words that are in today's message. Those are just from Paulie. Then I got an email from Ramona, and she said demystify would be her word. And it's a verb that it means to make a difficult or esoteric subject clearer and easier to understand. I chose this word. This is her. I chose this word because we are learning how to demystify the science behind COVID-19. This virus has impacted the very fiber of our daily lives. As we listen to the news, we look for hope and the ability to demystify this pandemic. While I do my part, I pray that our scientists can use their knowledge to mitigate this virus. And I wanted to read her whole email message to you because it walks right into my topic. And so what I want to say is, we have to decide to pray in faith, not fear. Okay, decide and dream are my topic, but we have to decide to pray in faith, not fear. The scientists, think about this. The scientists are not afraid that they'll come up with the answer. They're excited that they have to. The same way I ask, and that's why I say we're praying for the scientists, not, oh, I hope they get this. And I'm not saying Ramona said that, by the way, but we're saying, oh man, I hope they get this. So pray in faith, not fear. Okay. And so let me continue what I was saying. The same way I asked you to give me words. See, I'm not afraid that I'm not going to use the words that you're giving me. I'm excited to have fuel and options to do what I do. This is my gift, and this is how you can fuel my gift. And so I'm excited when I get the words from you of what I should use. I'm not afraid. And do you send me the words and worry about whether or not I'll use them? No. Once you send your word, word, it's off. You're off to something else. So that's why I'm saying that's really you praying in faith. You say, oh, because there's nothing else you could do. You sent your word. Move on. That's my gift. And now I have to deal with it. And that's what I'm saying about our scientists. Believe in the scientists the same way. They have been given the task. Get out the way. Oh, I'm praying for the scientists to get this together. Move on. What do you do for the day? Go about your business. You can't keep checking up on it. Imagine now, and meanwhile, check this out. Imagine how scientists have to make sure to surround themselves with positive energy and positive people. It's the same thing that we have to do. Know that the person is not necessarily negative. It's the vibe that they bring us that is negative. So they become detrimental to our focus and flow. Why? Because we hesitate. We watch what we say around them. We keep checking the clock, the door, or the phone, determined to find a reason to disconnect from them. Have you ever had that happen when you're with somebody who you may consider them a negative person, but what it is they brought you a negative vibe. So you're talking to them, but you're looking for the door. You're hoping somebody comes, the phone ring, something that you could do so that you can say, oh, well, look, I got to go. So, so remember, scientists who are right now tasked with finding out, working on a cure for COVID-19, they got to get rid of the people who are around them who are saying, oh, did you get it yet? Are you all right? Are you sure you're going to be able to? See, they got to get rid of those people in their space. And that could be your friend. That doesn't mean they're going to cut you off. Right now, they may have to put you on pause because you're a naysayer. And they need people around them that keep saying, okay, try this. Oh, that didn't work. What did you put 5 milligrams in there? You think we should try with 4, or do you think we should go with 6? See, they need people that are working on the solution and saying, yeah, this is going to work. Ooh, close. Okay, let's try that again. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, so and just as you think that I'm on one side of the coin, by the way, when I'm talking about the negative people, the actual negative person is just as agitated as you to get rid of the positive vibe. So you've got negative people who want to keep talking about negativity. And here you are being positive. Here I am giving a positive message. When somebody says, well, this is going on, I say, oh, well, Lee, maybe you should think about this. They're like, oh, man, damn. I'm sick of him being positive. Doesn't he live in the real world? What is this, a Pollyanna? Negative people want to get rid of the positive people. They don't want to stay in their space. They want to get rid of your positive vibe the same way you want to get rid of their negative vibe. There's two sides to the coin, y'all. So it's really not a problem. I'm not beating on anybody for being whoever they have to be. Meanwhile, let's creatively, here's what I said with the word demystify. I creatively dissected the word demystify. We find its cousin, mystery, and its uncle, mysterious. They all have M-Y-S-T. So, they're related. And mysterious is an adjective, and it means difficult or impossible to understand, explain, or identify, which is the word that many use to describe the way the Lord works in mysterious ways. So I say that, first of all, he is crystal clear. The Lord does not work in mysterious ways. I know that that's a cliche that we all learn. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I say no. He's crystal clear. He realized that he's the planning committee and we are the implementation crew. We are just not privy to his plans. Why? Because we so often doubt the long cuts that he takes because we're expecting a shortcut, right? So that's why I say the Lord is on the planning committee. We are on the implementation crew. But what I decided, the reason I mentioned the long cuts and the shortcuts, one of my favorite inspirational readings that I found that I've had for years is called The Constant Companion. And I want to share that with you. The Constant Companion. At first, I saw God as my observer, my judge, keeping track of the things I did wrong so as to know whether I merited heaven or hell when I die. He was out there sort of like a president. I recognized his picture when I saw it, but I really didn't know him. But later on, when I met Christ, it seemed as though life were rather like a bike ride, but it was a tandem bike. And I noticed that Christ was in the back helping me pedal. I don't know just when it was that he suggested that we change places, But life has not been the same since. When I had control, I knew the way. It was rather boring, but predictable. It was the shortest distance between 2 points. But when he took the lead, he knew delightful long cuts up mountains and through rocky places at breakneck speeds. It was all I could do to hang on. Even though it looked like madness, he said, pedal, Pedal, pedal. I worried and was anxious and asked, where are you taking me? He laughed and didn't answer. And I started to learn to trust. I forgot my boring life and entered into the adventure. And when I'd say, I'm scared, he leaned back and touched my hand. He took me to people with gifts that I needed, gifts of healing, acceptance, and joy. They gave me gifts to take on my journey, my Lord's and mine, and we were off again. He said, give the gifts away. They're extra luggage, too much weight. So I did, to the people we met. And I found that in giving, I received. And still our burden was light. I did not trust him at first in control of my life. I thought he'd wreck it. But he knows bike secrets, knows how to make it bend to take sharp corners, knows how to jump to clear high rocks, knows how to fly to shorten scary passages. And I am learning to keep quiet and pedal in the strangest places. And I'm beginning to enjoy the view and the cool breeze in my face with my delightful, constant companion, Jesus Christ. And when I'm sure I just can't do it anymore, he just smiles and says, pedal. So that's why you see what I mean about, the Lord taking the long cuts when we're looking for the shortcuts. We have got to realize that we are on the implementation crew. He is planning all that's going on. All things work for the good of God, not many, several, or most, or a whole lot. All things. And if aren't we in our life for the long haul? So think about that. And the constant companion, if that'll be something along with the poem that I'm going to read, that if you like, I will be able to email that to you. All right. So how to pedal, you say? Well, that's what I want to do and really put the touches on this message is tell you how to pedal. First, remember, we have to decide. Decide to listen to the news in smaller spurts. How do you pedal right now? Listen to the news in smaller spurts. Like 15, 20, 30 minutes. You don't have to listen to the news the whole day. Remember, the news is the old, OLDS. The news is old. Think about how a soap opera, okay? You watch a soap opera from Monday to Friday. And when you get to Friday, what has happened in that soap opera? An hour of what's going on in the theme has passed. From Monday to Friday, you've only covered an hour in that soap opera. Y'all, that is the same thing that's going on with the news right now. We are not going to have a huge shift on any given day, no matter whose angle it's coming from. Whichever news station you listen to, they are not going to have this big shift from Monday. Today is Wednesday. The news today is pretty much the same the way it was yesterday. And tomorrow it's going to be pretty much the same. There's not going to be a huge shift. Even when it's time for us to have a cure, that's going to be coming out in spurts, in small spurts. So that's what I'm saying to you is, I won't stop you from watching the news, but let me lead you to comedy and rest. You got to watch the news. Please put some comedy behind your news, especially before you go to sleep. Watch 30 minutes to an hour of something comedic so that you can smile yourself to sleep. See, when you go to sleep, you're in a meditative state. And the last thing that went in is what ruminates and works on you while you're asleep. So if the last thing that went in was the negative news, that's what works on your spirit while you're asleep. If the last thing that went in was some comedy and a smile, you can release a little bit of that worry. That's what works on your dreams. And then rest, I'm putting that in for during the day. During the day, stop. Especially now that you're working at home or you're staying at home and you're not used to that. You don't have to have this constant stream of activity going. Every now and then, just stop. Notice at the job, you get a lunch break. You get a coffee break. Are you taking your breaks at home? Take a break. Go in 15 minutes and just chill out. Go watch, the movie that you usually watch. You DVR'd the movie, didn't you? In most cases. So, why don't you wait till 2 o'clock on Wednesday to watch the thing that you DVR'd on Tuesday night? See, find ways to break up your day and find ways to get some rest. In my stress mastery training with my friend Dr. Heidi Hanna, it's called a brain recharge. And a brain recharge is a BFF, not a best friend for life as here on Facebook, but breathe, feel, and focus. That's what you have to do when you rest. You breathe. Slow your breathing down and think about what's going on in your world at home. And then however you're feeling, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling excited, all feelings are legitimate. So whatever you're feeling is real. It's okay. Acknowledge that feeling. Now focus. Focus. What am I going to do to get over this feeling? Especially if it's one of depression or anger or fear, what am I going to do to turn that negative into a positive? If it's a positive feeling, what am I going to do to continue to have this type of energy? See, that's the focus on keeping your day smooth the way you want it to go. Okay. So decide, okay? Decide to listen to the news in smaller spurts. Then you have to dream. DREAM. And my dream is dare to recognize everyone as your messenger. Choosing your messengers carefully also means, we've always heard me say that term, choose your messengers carefully. But you know what? Also means considering all the sources and the disguises. Your messengers are in disguise sometimes. One stanza in a poem, I have a poem that I wrote called I Miss Me. And in that poem, it says, every enemy would stand in their place and receive equal time to express the beauty they inspire through their negativity. Let's face it, so many of the lessons we actually learn come from disharmony. A selfish person made me want to share. A jealous person helped me recognize insecurity. A liar reminded me to tell the truth. See, those were my messengers. They were in disguise. So a jealous person, it was the disguise of jealousy, gave me, oh, you are my messenger to tell me that I should be more secure. Your disguise of being selfish was the message that told me that I needed to share more. Your disguise of being a liar made me realize that I needed to tell the truth because it was important to me. So that's why I say dare to recognize everyone as your messenger. Don't just cut off people automatically. Give them a chance to be cut off. Because there are people that you should cut off, but make sure they deliver their message to you first, okay? And then since you can't always know who your messenger is, guess what? You have to know who you are so that you can recognize them when they arrive, because your messengers are coming. But you have to know who you are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always telling you to put yourself first. You can't take care of anyone until you take care of yourself, and you can't take care of anyone who doesn't want your help. So know who you are, and so that you can recognize your messengers when they arrive. It may be only for a short time. Their arrival may be only for a short time, and maybe for a divine intervention, or just to perform a good deed for you, or you for them. See, so recognize that's what the messenger is. And so dream is the t-shirt that I've got on today. And for the letter D, sometimes this thing is backwards and you can't tell. And I'll do it this way. And as you can see, it's Dr. Martin Luther King, who we always associate with the dream. But as on my T-shirt, it's showing dream fulfilled, and it's you can see Barack Obama there in the background. Which hand am I using? Okay, and Barack Obama becoming the president, and that's He has Dr. King's dream, and so that's and I also want to say that's again the Lord with a long cut, of recognizing that Dr. King's dream is still alive. And P.S. by the way, what was Dr. King's dream? That we're all in this together, y'all. We're all in this together. And so the next thing is you want to determine to be a part of the solution, not magnify the problem. Be a part of the solution, not the magnified problem. I've said it before, but people still do it. When you inbox me one of those warning messages that are worried about getting taken down and I need to forward to my friend, the first thing I do is I check your page to see if you posted it. If you have not posted it, I delete it from my inbox. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all in this together already. We're all in this together. Don't you know that whatever that message you have, that little warning, the more people that post it to their page, even if it's going to get taken down, let it get taken down off of everybody's page. And maybe that will overload the system and it'll get through to somebody. But when you inbox me one of your warning messages, I'm not listening to it. I'm not watching it. The first thing I'm doing is checking your page to see if you have shared that with other people. If you have not, then I will not use that, because that is, we have to learn. This is technology that we have to learn how to use it. I heard on the news a guy who he's now out and he's an advocate. He might be some kind of a politician or whatever, but he was wrongfully imprisoned. And his sentence got terminated and he's out. And one of the things that he talked about, he said, imagine what it would be right now, if we did not have technology and social media. See, that's what I'm talking about, looking for the solution. He said, imagine if we didn't have social media. So why are we sending messages to hide and divide us even more? Share the message, because everybody is in this together. And so the other D that I have is for you is die. DIE. And my die, we have to die, y'all. And my die, though, is DIE. Do it every day. Do it every day. Share every day. And then also pray in faith, not fear. Taking us right back to our scientists. Do it every day, y'all. Pray in faith, not fear, because we're going to be okay. But we have to be prayerful, knowing that God will come through, because his track record says he does. And that means that transfers to our track record saying that we do as well. Die. Do it every day. And so my featured poem is one that I actually wrote in 2009, and the title is Get Back in the House. Now, when I wrote it, I actually, the same way I've taught you how to use that word bank and take out the vowels and just use the consonants. When I did this, I did it at one of my Chicago Department on Aging. It was Central West Center. It was the first one, the second one that I used to go to, and the one I went to the most, actually. And I gave them a word bank, but we didn't take the vowels out. We used the word father. And I went around the room and had each person give me a word that began with one of the letters in the word father, Father. And this was in August, so it wasn't Father's Day, but as you'll see, it was talking about prayer. So here are the words that you can listen for as you listen to me, to the poem I wrote. Father. The F, they gave me far, faith, and funny. For A, they gave me again, all, always. For T, they gave me telephone, truth, and temper. For H, they gave me how, heaven, happy, helper. For E, they gave me easy, everyday, earnest. And for R, they gave me right, rich, and righteous. And then I created the poem called Get Back in the House. Okay. The righteous shall prevail, yet the road will not be easy. For even the good old days have limits. You see, they're all just a day away, as the baton must always be passed. How it is passed creates the happy home. Thus, we earnestly don't need the good old days as much as we need to temper and build upon the lessons learned. Steeping ourselves in faith laced with truth, and far deeper than everyday conversations and affirmations rich in sound only, with no connection to the right spirit. We pray to reach once again inside our hearts and cleanse ourselves of judgment as we seek not to be judged, yet find that the answer has not evolved. Heaven has always been home. Have you seen it lately, or do you need to telephone a friend? Yes, isn't it funny how we fight each testimony before proclaiming God's guaranteed grace? Hey, relax. You can't help it. It's human nature and sometimes a requirement for the testimony. So always know that as you get back in the house of prayer, your seat will be different. Your view will change. And like everyone else, your focus must be on the Father. Get back in the house. So I'm sure you can see that even back in 2009 when I wrote that, and I was writing that about giving our praise to our Father, to God. And it's so get back in God's house. God is not a house of worry or fear. Like that, like the Bible says, God did not creating us what is it? He did not create us something of fear. Y'all know it. Okay. But get breathe. Breathe, feel, and focus. That's a meditation principle, by the way, as well. It'll help you with your stress right now. All right. So, stay faithful, y'all. Stay confident. This is going to be okay. It's not going to be okay tomorrow, but maybe 30 days from now, I'll be saying that it will be okay tomorrow. We don't know. So we have to settle ourselves down for the long haul because we're in our lives for the long haul, right? You're not in your life for the short haul. Even 83-year-old people, when they die, people say, they lived a short life. Okay. So have that belief and recognize that it's going to be okay, but you have to decide, continue to decide and dream. Dare to recognize everyone as your messenger. And as you know, I've extended the glue from just Glue Wednesday to conclude Monday and Friday. And if you'd like a PDF copy of the poem that I read today, as well as the constant companion, just email me at unclesporty@gmail.com. Please email me. I'm asking you to do that. I'm not answering people who put it in the feed, because if you email me, I've got a lot to do right now, y'all. See, this is not new for me being home. I work out of my house. And that's one of the things that as you're working at home. Remember when we first started this, I gave some tips where I said one of the things you have to do is you have to train people to recognize, no, I'm not at home, I'm at work. And so don't decide because you're at home, you've got some extra free time. No, you're still at work. And right now, because so many more people are at home, then I get a little bit more of a flood because since they have free time, they think I do. I don't. So please help me be able to churn this stuff out and meet your requests. And let's really get the message out to as many people as possible. Never feel like you need to stop and ask me, is it okay for me to share this? Anything you see from me in public, it's okay to share. And if you bust me and get something that I'm doing in private, it's okay to share that too, because I shouldn't have been busted. Share, y'all. Share, share, share. We're all in this together, going through it differently. And even as I say that, I notice a lot of you have not gone down in my feed and looked at my interview or most of my interviews with my group called the 2020 Visionaries, 5 other Charlotte people that I'm working with, and we've called ourselves the 2020 Visionaries, and we've created what we call pandemic perspectives. We've interviewed one another. They're nice little short 15-minute interviews. You'll see me interviewing my 5 partners, and then you'll see one of my partners interviewing me. If you haven't looked at them, that's great, because you know what? Looking at them consecutively is a wonderful thing as well, to see the synchronicity of our messages. If you don't want to scroll down on my page, we have a Facebook page now called 2020 Visionaries Charlotte, CLT. So you can see all of them right in a row there. We have them on our YouTube channel. We're getting it. We have a page now on LinkedIn. So we're trying to be everywhere and for everybody. I'm growing through this situation, y'all. So are you. Let's grow together. The letter on Friday will be E. Email me. Oh, I always like it. So Friday we'll be using letter E. If you like a word with the letter E, including the message, just put it in the thread. This is fine. But I will be elated if I can co-author the message through you. Meanwhile, decide to see and be smart and stay your A at home. God bless you, and I'll see y'all all in a few. Ciao.